The big ones.
The big ones
that Trump's talking about.
Yep.
Do you think that, like, is Trump right to say that the cities, the governments are kind of allowing this or exacerbating it or just not doing their jobs?
Oh, 100%, especially in Portland.
I mean, for sure.
100%, because the police are trained. They're trained to be able to put a stop to all of this stuff, but their hands are tied. They're ordered not to use the kind of excessive force that they're trained to use against anarchy.
Well, hold on. Excessive force. Mm-hmm. They're trained to use appropriate force, and they're told they can't use appropriate force.
Yeah.
Yeah, the excessive force thing, I think, that's Antifa will argue that any force against them is excessive. But, like, dude, if you're throwing Molotov
cocktails
and a cop pushes you and then
you're cementing the police precinct door with people inside of it. Yeah, and throwing Molotov cocktails, and the police are going to have to use.
That was Seattle, right?
Yeah, that was Seattle, man.
The mayor of Portland said that they were trying to kill people. That's when they barricaded the back and the front of the I don't know which.
Dude, they're trying to kill him. They were literally lighting the base of his condo on fire the other night. He's moved. He apologized to the residences around. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm so sorry. This has nothing to do with you guys, or politics or anything. I'm like, what are you talking about? These are your constituents. You were elected to protect these people.
He could have him. He's a police commissioner, isn't he?
Yep.
Can't he just have him arrested?
Yep.
Well, I guess the problem is the DA.
Yep. You know what mistake he made, though? You know what he said in the press conference a couple days ago?
What did he say?
When he was coming down on Trump, he said, around the lines of, I would die for a Trump supporter to be able to protest peacefully in front of my house. Those are some fighting words for Antifa.
Yeah,
wow. You know the Proud Boys are heading to Portland.
Those are some fighting words.
I remember that,
you hear the Proud Boys are heading up there.
Mm-hmm.
Was it September 26th, I think?
24th, somewhere around there.
I think it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
I respect people's rights to peacefully protest, so far be it from me to tell anybody what they can or can't do, but they're going to get probably 1 million hours of footage of right-wing extremists.
Yeah.
Every angle. There'll be like a dude it's like the Ryan Long joke where, I don't know, have you ever seen Ryan Long's comedy videos?
I've seen a couple.
He did one where it's how do you sell footage to Fox and CNN? Uh-huh. And one of his jokes is that he accidentally sent footage of young black men picking up garbage to Fox News. And they're like, what are we supposed to do with this? And he goes, you can play it backwards. It looks like they're littering. It's a great joke. He's hilarious. But that's the kind of stuff. I mean, it's a joke. But yeah, you'll get a video of one of these Proud Boys like flicking a cigarette into a trash bin, and then they'll freeze frame it with his middle finger up saying he's flicking off residents. You know what I mean? They'll just they'll go nuts with it.
Yeah.
But hey, man, people have a right to peacefully protest. I just think Antifa's going to show up, start a fight, and then the journalists are not going to be aiming the cameras at Antifa.
Yep.
They're going to be aiming the cameras at the Proud Boys.
Yeah, they have their own designated media. The streamers, they're all designated. They claim to be centrists. They claim to be down the middle, but they're not. They're
absolutely not. When I used to do live streaming, when I first started doing streaming back at Occupy Wall Street, I got physically threatened. They came up to me and they said, from now on, you only film the police. You don't film what we do. Yep. And I said, I'm going to film everybody. And they were like, if you do that, we will stop you.
And that's the moment Tim Pool became a right-wing extremist.
I mean, the funny thing is...
kind of, yeah, sure.
But so this is 2011.
Yeah.
Oh,
the core of the activists at Occupy Wall Street opposed what people were just referring to as the black bloc extremists or the black bloc anarchists. There were a handful of them that had influence in the protests, but most people were like, Tim, we love what you do. Keep doing it. Don't stop. And it was really interesting to see then when I went to the Deplorable, when Trump got elected, some people walked up to me and they were wearing MAGA hats and they were like, hey, we're big fans. We've been big fans since Occupy Wall Street. And I was like, since Occupy Wall Street, but you're here to Trump Deplorable, you're wearing MAGA hats. And they're like, oh, yeah. We used to be big, Democrats and supported Bernie, and now we're voting for Trump and all that stuff. And I saw a lot of that. A lot of the people that I met back in the day who were active with Occupy Wall Street, not all of them, just a decent amount, always hated the violence. It undermined what they were trying to do because they had taking that space and getting the press attention they did was helping them. And then as soon as the violent people came in and started smashing things and attacking people, it undermined what they were trying to accomplish. Yeah. Now I see a lot of those people are voting for Trump.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, man, I have a friend, and I love it when the left thinks it's always a lie, like it's being made up. And I'm like, dude, why would I tell these stories? Just make them up. It's the stupidest thing ever. I met someone in Ferguson at a Black Lives Matter protest, hated Trump. 2016, hated Trump. 2017, hated Trump. 2018, 2019, hated Trump. 2020, loves Trump.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's the human trafficking issue because like you get the marshals announcing they're catching these criminals and saving these kids, and a lot of people are saying I don't care about anything else. Trump, he's sending out the feds and they're catching these traffickers and like the arrests are going way up. But anyway, yeah, have you? We'll jump over to the crybaby Antifas in the fetal position, but
notice people. I don't think you realized, Tim, what you mean to a lot of people. Dude, especially after when you were on with Rogan and Jack Dorsey and that, I don't think you realized, Tim, and I know you want to be humble about it, but that podcast, bro, like I felt like I was watching like the UFC. I know I'm being dead serious. I'm being Joe Rogan's right there commentating and I felt like I was watching the UFC. Like there are so many things that people have been wanting to say that you said, and I just want to let you know, man, like you mean so much to the culture right now. You literally, bro, it was like Zelda, right? It was literally like Zelda, bro. Like like the final boss of the game. Like you're going one-on-one with Ganondorf, right? And like you're like the hero of time.
That's a crazy story.
You are
man.
the hero of time, bro. Tim Pool
is
the hero of time.
Well, I appreciate it.
So many people, left and right, they because